All right, let's get started. Once again, welcome to our Utilizing Paid Advertising to Educate Your Customers Ask Us Hour. I'd like to introduce John Gross. He's our president and founder here at Goldstreet, and he's going to be our presenter today. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that there is a chat box. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please go ahead and type in your question there. And then we'll make sure to get to all of your questions at the end of the prezo. And so I'm going to hand this over to John, and you can get started. I'm going to unmute you.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Really excited to have you here. I am super stoked about delivering this presentation. This has been something that I think is timely for COVID and just given the circumstances right now, but it's something that we at Goldstreet have been working on for over a year now and doing some testing. And so let's jump into paid video advertising. So first I want to start off with what online advertising is not. I get a lot of questions when I start saying online advertising to people. They think, oh, it's posting on our Facebook page or Instagram or Twitter and getting the message out that way. And I just want to be clear that that's not at all what we're going to be talking about today. These are social media channels to provide base level information to your followers who are out there. So you may be asking then, well, what is online advertising? Well, online advertising is paid advertisements, whether it's static or video, on Google, YouTube, Facebook, etc. For instance, today, in preparation for this, I went on YouTube and watched a video, and the first ad that popped up was a ad about a new mattress. And what's funny is my wife and I were talking about a new comforter the other day, and so somehow Google figured out that I might need a pillow to go with it. Then I typed in lawn care in Google, and you can see where there's sponsored ads that pop up, both in local services who are paying for ads there. There's another one for a discount on service, and those are all right in front of you. And then surprisingly, I went over to my Facebook page today and I had a sponsored ad from Icon telling me that Mount Bachelor, where we live, is now part of the Icon family, and that I need to take advantage of the new Icon Pass. So that's what online advertising is, and it can be across the board. There's many other avenues for online advertising, where you'll see different ads, but these are just a few of them. So why are we talking about online advertising, John? Because we don't sell products. We are cities, we're utilities, we do public education, and we do outreach, and we try and connect with our communities. And this is a question that I've wrestled with personally for many years with this company. As many of you know or may not know, we've been around for 13 years and trying to really figure out how to leverage online media has been something that I've really struggled with personally in trying to promote, for you to use in your day-to-day because of some of the inherent challenges. But the good news is we've figured out how to do it in a way that's effective. So let's roll into that. So why should we look at online advertising? Well, right now with COVID-19, all your events are canceled, offices are closed. The ability to meet face-to-face with people is pretty much over at this point. And so trying to move over to different media is really important, especially now, to communicate, because you still, even though we are in shutdown, you're still running your sewer system, stormwater still has to get maintained. Water conservation still needs to happen, and all the way down the line. And so how do you get these messages out during COVID? This is a great opportunity for you. The next one is to promote your online media content. When you post something on your Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, it's only going out to a certain number of followers. So there's no guarantees. It doesn't show up on all of your followers' pages. In fact, it's probably a very, very, very small percentage of people will actually see those posts. And the reason for that is because Facebook, Google all know that you're a government agency, or a company, and they're not going to provide that service for you for free anymore. They want to get paid. And so the way that you can really get your messages out is by spending some dollars on it. The next is expanding your media mix. So I'm not here today to present the silver bullet for your communication strategy, and you need to go 100% into online advertising. Online advertising, what I'm presenting today, needs to be part of your entire media mix. There's no one thing that you can do that is going to solve all of your advertising and marketing woes. From truck stickers to printed handouts, bill inserts, billboards, bus advertising, your neighborhood associations, your office, things like that. You need to continue to build an entire media campaign. But what my contention is that you really need to add online advertising into the mix of what you're doing and how you're reaching your community. So this falls along lines with why online advertising. Number one is affordability. And the affordability means that you can repeat your message over and over and over and over again. In the marketing world, when you're selling products or selling services, some say you need to be out in front of your customers 7 times to sell it. Others say 14. Others say 20, 30, 40, 50 times. There's really not one magic number there for how many times you need to be in front of somebody to, change a behavior or sell a product. The bottom line is the more times you can be out in front and the more times you can deliver your message, the better. And so online advertising gives you that ability to really deliver your message many, many, many times. You also get a lot of neat statistics. You can learn about how many people that those ads were running in front of. You can track clicks. So if you're trying to get people to go to a certain area on your website or see additional information or engage with you in some way, you can begin to see clicks and you can see how people are engaging. You can also see with videos how much time people are watching on the videos. Are they getting lost after the first 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 15 seconds in the video and they're dropping off? If they are, the nice thing is you can make adjustments so that you can improve your message so that people are watching and engaging longer. You also learn valuable background data too on the people who are watching. So Google knows, ages, gender, parental status, all of these things that can really help you when you're seeing these people hitting your advertisements. Some of that data does come back, and then you can craft your messages to hit those particular audiences and find out that there might be some audiences that are really engaged that maybe you didn't know about. And the big thing of why online advertising is, in my view, so important for cities and utilities to really grab hold of is targeting. And number one is location. So we have the ability now to target your community. So where TV and cable have been really expensive and they cover areas that are outside of your service area, and you're paying for a lot of impressions that aren't even in your area, and it's just not cost effective. Well, we can now focus the messaging into zip codes, and we can break it down by people who are currently in your area. We can see, we can communicate to people who visited your area in the last 20 days, 30 days, 6 months, or people who are traveling to your area. So, Google knows all that information, whether you like it or not. The algorithms that are behind the scenes there have tied in, and they know exactly who you are and everything about you. And so the number one key for why online advertising should be part of your mix is the ability to focus it on zip code. The next one is demographics. So you can craft your messages by age, by gender, by languages. So if you have Spanish speaking, you can deliver messages straight to your Hispanic community. Household income, if there's people who own their own their homes versus renting their homes, you can target your messaging based on all these things. You want to go after moms or you want to go after dads, you can do that now. It's super great. Interests, if by what their entertainment preferences are, fitness, hobbies, whatever, you can do that. And then lastly, are keywords. So if you type in the words, let's say in YouTube, and you type in flushable wipes, okay, you can have a counter ad pop up with messaging against flushable wipes. Or if somebody's looking to buy leaf rakes, you could have a message about, hey, don't blow your leaves into storm drains. Or somebody types in leaky toilet in Google, you could have messaging about rebates, or some helpful things from the city about you know how to fix um, their leaky toilets or something. Or they're looking at sprinkler systems, maybe you have some advertising about backflow, or somebody's talking about solar panels. Maybe there's a community-based solar program that your agency offers, or somebody types in energy efficiency or recycling. Bottom line is you can set up keywords so that you can hyper target your messaging to people who are actively engaged on those topics in your area. So the power of targeting. I like this one. It's kind of fun. Really, this could be any product out there or any service. The power of targeting is super popular. So like with Dude Wipes, okay, they're online, you can find out that they are trying to go after men who are aged 24 to 35, who have a disposable income and who wants the benefits of wipes added to their daily hygiene regime. So what they're trying to do is change men's behavior to use wipes instead of toilet paper. I'm not in the battle here to decide on who's right or who's wrong on this. Um, I know that there's a lot of concerns out there, but what's great is just the same way as Dude Wipes is able to target these people across the country, you now as an agency have the exact same tools at your disposal to battle this head on, where you didn't used to. So now if somebody types in Dude Wipes or went to Dude Wipes website, you could start hitting them with advertisements against using wipes and making sure that they don't flush these wipes down the toilet. So anyway, you could do this across the board, like I said, with the keywords, whether it's recycling, whether it's solar panels, you name it. You now have the power to battle head to head with what marketing is trying to promote on a products, in to protect your systems. So our preferred platform for video advertising, you've heard me mention it a few times in this presentation, and it's YouTube. And why YouTube? Well, YouTube has 1.9 billion monthly active subscribers. It's huge. It's the second largest search engine in the world. It covers 80 different languages. Last year, 70% of millennials watched at least one how-to video, which is amazing. There's 50,000 years of product review videos. Mobile ads receive viewer attention 83% of the time. So people pay attention to YouTube. And of course, you have the ability to target your messaging by zip code. And let's take a look at YouTube's demographics, which are staggering for, getting out to all the different demographics. I mean, 96% of the people from 18 to age 24 use YouTube. 95%, 90, 85, 79, 66, 51% of the population above 75 is using YouTube. And so your reach, it's the one platform where you have almost a ubiquitous user group across all ages. Where Facebook's a little bit different in theirs, and Instagram and using all these different media for younger and older. YouTube has a consistency across the board, which is just unprecedented. So bottom line here is that YouTube is a powerful tool that enables you the ability to connect with your community in new and innovative ways. So, John, this is all great. You got me really excited. Let's see some of the results of what on projects that you've been working with. Okay, let's do it. So the first one is Ross Valley Sanitary. So we worked with them to develop a video reaching a certain population, and their population center covered 45,000 people. They are spending $750 a month, and these numbers are representative of 6 weeks. So the total number of impressions for them was 120,000. Okay, that's in front of 120,000 people. So on that YouTube ad, when you go to watch a video and an ad pops up and it says you have to wait, 5 seconds before you can skip it, that went in front of 120,000 people. 51% of the people that saw that watched at least 25% of the video. 50%, 35% watched at least 50% of the video. 30% of the people watched 75%, and a staggering 22% watched 100% of the video, which equals 26,400 people that watched the entire video that Ross Valley was delivering to their community for $750 over 6 weeks. And the great thing is you can just continue to run this ad month over month over month. And I can't think of anything that you can do, and we've been doing this a long time, that can garner 26,000 views for $750 a month. Okay, great, John. Let's hear from another one. Okay, fine. Sewer Authority from Mid-Coastside. Their population targets around 40,000. They had a monthly spend of $1,500. Over 4 weeks, they had 115,000 impressions. And again, I will bring up, you're like, well, over 6 weeks with Ross Valley, it was 120,000. Every market's going to be a little bit different. You're bidding, these ads are on kind of a bid process, and you never know how much you're going to pay until you get the ads out. And so depending on the market, how targeted it is, will vary a lot with the number of impressions that you get out there. So this agency has seen a 52% viewership of at least 25% of the video, 32% watched at least half of it, 75% or 26% watched 75% of the video, and again, 22% watched this. So in their region, they had 26,400 views in 4 weeks. And if you broke that down to the population, that's over half of the population would have seen this video just based on views. Now, some people will have maybe seen the video 2, 3, 4 times. So, it's not a direct line there, but you can see that, just the amount of views that people are seeing in a relatively small community. The city of Yuma is a little larger population. They're almost at 100,000. They spent $1,500 over a 4-week period, and they had a whopping 162,000 impressions. 65% of the people watched at least 25% or 25% of the video, 44, 37, and 30. They've had 33% of the people watch that video through its entirety. That's over 56,700 views of that video, which is amazing. They were previously running that in some movie theaters and stuff like that, and so anyway, these numbers really demonstrate that you can get a lot of views and a lot of impressions for not a lot of money. And the last one we're going to show here is the town of Jackson. And the reason I put them in is you may be saying, hey, John, listen, we don't have a population of 40,000. We don't have a population of 100,000. We're a smaller agency. Well, here's the town of Jackson, Wyoming, who has a population of 10,000 people, and they're spending $750 a month. Their program's been running for 2 weeks. They've had 21,662 impressions. So they're on pace right now for a monthly total of, over 43,000 people that they've touched on a population of 10,000. Okay. That's 4 times the population. So being able to segment in smaller communities is actually a very viable option for you. And you will see here, these numbers are crazy. 95% of the people that have watched that ad have watched at least 25%. 52% have watched 50%, 37%, and then 27.83 have watched the entire thing. That's total views of almost 6,000 total views. Town of Jackson can't do anything for $750 and get that kind of reach in their outreach. And so anyway, as you can see, online advertising brings a ton of benefits. You don't have wasted impressions because you can target right to zip code. You can repeat your messaging. You're able to target by zip code, and you're able to measure your results. And that's the end of the online presentation part. I really appreciate your time and listening to this, and I'll turn it back over to Lindsay here, and we can take some questions.
All right, thank you, John. Does anybody have any questions? I'm not really sure what just came out of my mouth. Please go ahead and type them in the chat box. If you don't see it, it's down at the bottom of your screen. And we'll just hold off for a little bit. Okay, John. From Jared Jones says, besides impressions, are there other ways to measure success? Would you like to address that for us?
Yeah. There's definitely other ways than just impressions. You can manage by clicks, by the amount of time people are viewing the videos and the messaging that are engaged with. But impressions